Hello there everybody, What Culture's Adam Cleary here, and I've got a little bit of character work for you today. Yeah, let's call it that. Alright, so the WWE luxuriates in the obscene wealth that is handed to them by various TV networks, the Saudi General Sports Authority, all those people in Australia, merchandising, TV deals, the network, everything. They have safeguarded the financial security of the company for about $1 billion years. They also have this obscene roster of talent, from arguably the greatest sports entertainer of all time in Daniel Bryan to unarguably the greatest women's worker of all time in Charlotte Flair, and in someone like Ricochet, they have the most phenomenally gifted athlete in a modern era they themselves have defined. They also have this unprecedented degree of exposure across both television and the network, the metrics of which can show them which performers are over and which performers are not. And according to WWE's Chief Branding Officer Stephanie McMahon, they have the unique advantage of this live WWE universe, which is the greatest barometer of all time for telling them what works and what doesn't. So why then is WWE's audience gradually slipping away from them? Why are people deserting the product in their droves? Why is Twitter constantly flooded with complaints about the product and memes mocking its performers? Well, I've been able to tap into WWE's collective consciousness, and in their minds, the problem is you. Alexa Bliss is better at tying her own shoelaces than you are at literally anything in your life, you thick, mouth-breathing, worm-sucking idiot. You see, on Raw this week, Alexa Bliss couldn't tie her shoelaces after like 5 attempts, but I'm having to explain that joke to you because you are, as I say, a thick, mouth-breathing, worm-sucking idiot, apparently. Also on this week's episode of Raw, The Miz told Bobby Lashley that he wasn't fully reaching his potential in the very challenging field of chinlock application. In response to that, Lashley reminded him that he was a 2-time Intercontinental Champion and asked The Miz, what had he ever done? Miz's retort to all of this was to remind Lashley that he is in fact an 8-time Intercontinental Champion, a 7-time Tag Team Champion, a 2-time United States Champion, and was once even the WWE Champion. But that is not a scripted promo, is it? That's a Wikipedia entry. Now that was Monday, but it happens every single episode of WWE television. A constant stream of exposition by both the performers and the commentary team, because in their minds, you are as thick as a prison door. We are being told relentlessly and suffocatingly every single thing that is happening in front of us because the company don't trust us to remember what has happened mere minutes or seconds ago. They basically think we are X-Pac's dog. Just look at him. Useful, yes, but just sitting there, glossy-eyed, tongue hanging out, just being delighted there's a wrestler anywhere near it. So this week, after another seemingly tiresome opening segment, which was actually brilliant, it's just that you're too thick to understand it, Michael Cole acted as your avatar in the situation, which of course you need him to do, don't you, you absolute melt. I like the sound of that, said Michael Cole as Braun Strowman challenged Drew McIntyre to a match later on in the night. Will it be made official? As we all sat there at home going, ooh, I do like the sound of that. Yay, oh, I hope they make it official. Clap, clap, clap. I mean, it doesn't matter that everything always gets made official in these circumstances, or that there's never anything actually scheduled for the second hour of Raw. WWE don't even trust you to remember the last 15 minutes of your life, you loathsome imbecile, never mind the last 20 years. Then throughout the next match, because you obviously weren't listening last week, you idiot, the commentary team had to repeatedly remind you why you're supposed to think about Ricochet as a potential Universal Champion. There he goes, launching himself with a moonsault from the corner of the ring, just one of the reasons why he could be a potential winner for the Money in the Bank ladder match in the coming weeks. It's a taste of those aerial maneuvers we've been hearing all about, said Renee Young on an April the 29th episode of television about a performer who debuted at the beginning of February. Thanks for that. Obviously, you've heard about all these aerial maneuvers because they've been rattling around in the dim echo chamber that you call a head, but apparently you haven't seen any of them because you're too stupid to remember to open your eyes again once you've closed them. Ricochet is the man who redefined aerial combat, blurted out Corey Graves, very helpfully chewing your food for you because of course you can't be expected to eat an entire juicy delicious plate of storyline if you're also having to sip this tiny glass of water with the words character development written on it. After all though, it is Money in the Bank season and you know what that means. don't you? Yes, even you quivering, terrified dipshit. You know what that means. It means 8 men and 8 women will compete in a Money in the Bank ladder match to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, which they can cash in for a championship opportunity anytime they like, because they will be Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank. And remember, the object of the Money in the Bank ladder match said, Michael Cole, you take the ladder, you set up the ladder, you climb the ladder, and you retrieve the Money in the Bank briefcase. Inside is a contract entitling the holder to a WWE Championship opportunity anytime, any place. And of course, you're sat at home going, wow, climb the ladder. Why didn't I think of that? Because what you would have done, if he hadn't told you, because you're a halfwit, is taken the ladder, put it on its side, and then use the 1-foot platform to jump up and down at the briefcase like the seal gratefully receiving fish that you are. Stop nodding, you don't get the joke. How can we possibly convey to the audience what is going on here? The superstars are going to compete in a ladder match. Do they know what a ladder is? Actually, you know what? Forget about it. We'll just show you. We will present all the sports entertainers standing on top of ladders, just so you can fully appreciate precisely what it is they're going to have to do in that match. Although, now I think about it, that is all probably futile, isn't it? Because how can you possibly grasp the speed and the action of a ladder match when none of us at home can apparently get the brilliance of all their singles matches? Take, for example, when one of their bad guys cinches in a chinlock for multiple minutes. All you morons at home, all you thick, useless sacks of cum cannot even fully appreciate the pain the hero must be going through. You just sit there, bored, disinterested, tweeting that it's bad because you can't emphasize with the immense pain they must be in. And as such, even the best recent storylines, even the ones with genuinely brilliant in-ring work or with emotional moments that actually connected with the audience, had to be delivered so on the nose that it nearly caved off faces in. Kofi Kingston is a spirited babyface who is attempting to overcome all the odds. Now, how can we visualize Kofi Kingston attempting to overcome all the odds? Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll put Kofi Kingston, and remember, can't use any pronouns because otherwise you'll forget his name is Kofi Kingston. We'll put Kofi Kingston in no less than 3 matches against multiple opponents. Becky Lynch is a really popular star, but who doesn't stand much of a chance against her opponents. How can we show you that she doesn't stand much of a chance? Oh, I know. We'll give her a crutch so she literally cannot stand. That works as a metaphor, doesn't it? You see, and that was absolutely exhausting. By the way, for a number of years now, WWE has held both your patience and your taste in, let's just say, a little bit of contempt. And WWE TV in 2019 is starting to feel a bit like Vince just thwacking you over the nose with a rolled up newspaper where the headline just reads, "You idiot, you stupid idiot, why don't you like this?" And thus we, as members of the wrestling press, try to figure out precisely what the deal is behind this fading audience the company has. There is a direct parallel with this explosion of exposition on the programming. Like, Gorilla Monsoon and Jim Ross did not recount the entire biographies of both men in the ring because, believe it or not, they trusted you at home to actually know who they were. And there were so many people willing to watch this because we all wanted, and I mean this unironically, to bask in Vince McMahon's creative genius at the time. And now he is looking at the lack of people doing it and thinking it's not because that genius is fading, but because we're all so stupid, we've forgotten how to do it. The very first rule of writing fiction is that you show, you do not tell. The audience must at least partially arrive at the big emotional moments on their own, because you in the background have woven this vivid world with stories that make sense and they can piece them together, at least partially, themselves. Writers are supposed to immerse their audience in worlds that allow them to escape the mundane, and fiction is supposed to be us exploring these worlds on our own without some weird, creepy sex case holding and crushing our hands the whole time. And by repeatedly breaking this fundamental rule of writing fiction, Vince McMahon has proved he has lost the ability to craft interesting stories. Now, this all sounds like some kind of deathbed plea on behalf of the company, but WWE is not dying. We are, they think, because we're too stupid to breathe on our own. So yes, you see, in WWE's head, there is nothing wrong with WWE. These all-time low ratings, this diminishing audience, is not because of anything they are doing, it's because, well, me, you, everybody else behind the camera, we are simply too stupid to understand how good it is. Apparently. Anyway, though, God, I really hope you got all the irony in that. Let us know what you made of it in the comments below. And, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meantime, though, thank you so much for watching. I have, of course, been Adam Cleary. I don't really think you're an idiot. I'll see you soon.